Hey, it's Heath Mulligan for the Double Dropkick Show, and just wanted to share some thoughts from Monday Night Raw on October the 3rd. The main event was Sasha and Charlotte. Thought they had a good match. The rumor today is that at Hell in a Cell, that they will participate in a Hell in a Cell match. And I don't have an issue with that because they're female wrestlers. My issue is that on the other side, you've got Roman Reigns and Rusev, who have had this ongoing feud. So to me, having them compete in a Hell in a Cell or any kind of cage match makes sense as a blow off to their feud. However, with Sasha and Charlotte, even though there's been this intense rivalry, it hasn't been to the sense of, man, this is so out of control. We got to put these people in a cage. I think with the current situation in WWE where there's no blood and there's certain other things, to me, Hell in a Cell match isn't as effective as it used to be, and it's not as believable as it used to be. So that's my thoughts on that. You got No Mercy coming up this Sunday on the SmackDown brand, which I plan on watching that. However, if you go on websites and read read results from house shows and stuff, the triple play match between AJ Styles, John Cena, and Dean Ambrose, they've been doing that match at all these house shows. So I think that it's training for this big pay-per-view spot. So I think that'll be a good match and a good pay-per-view. I was gonna bring you some TNA news, but what I'm finding is most people don't care about TNA news. Last week the big story was the financial issues, TNA being sold, stuff like that. And then they were able to pull off not only the pay-per-view, but they got the funding for their programming. My biggest issue with TNA is I don't get that channel. Okay, I don't get that channel, so I can't watch their programming. The number one biggest argument that I hear in favor of TNA from wrestling fans is, well, guys need a place to work, and I totally agree with that. And the more wrestling companies, the better. But can you really count TNA as that? I mean, the guys from TNA, they'll work this week, they'll be paid, and then TNA will have nothing for them until January. So is that really work? Is that really a full-time job in wrestling? Most of these guys are having to take independent bookings, in between TNA tapings. So again, I would refer you to the great article by Bruce Mitchell that basically says, wrestling would have been a lot better off if TNA had been allowed to die a natural death. They were basically kept alive because Dixie Carter's family is billionaires, and they have thrown away. They've thrown away at least $100 million, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you saw spoilers from the tapings last night, which they taped episodes for October 6th, October 13th, a lot of what I call hotshot booking, meaning they're going to try to pop a rating these 2 weeks with some matches. So we'll see. It's one of those things. Taz, called on his show. He called, TNA the cockroach of wrestling. You just can't kill them. My thing is, as long as the guys are getting paid what they're promised, and they're making the money they want to make or that they can make, more power to them. My issue with TNA is they haven't paid. They still owe people money, and so just not a good business model. So hope you have a great week. I would encourage you to become a patron We released an exclusive episode to our patrons in September. We just released one for October, and this Saturday, October 8th, we're going to be recording an episode where I share a story you are not going to hear anywhere else. Okay, it's a personal story from a personal experience at a wrestling show to just kind of get across to you some of the kinds of people who are trying to work in the wrestling business. So it is a straight up shoot, pulling no punches. So to become a patron, you just go to patreon.com, patreon.com/doubledropkick. You can give $1 a month. It's going to get you that free audio or video episode. You give $5 a month, you get that episode. Plus, we'll promote your blog, your website, promote you on our regular show, our live show. If you give $10 a month, you get all that other stuff. Plus, you're going to get an autographed 8x10 of a Mid-Atlantic wrestling legend. So I'd encourage you to do that. Check that out. I'll put a link here in the comments. And I would love your comments on the Sasha, I'm terrible with names, Sasha Charlotte match from Monday Night Raw. Your thoughts on TNA. And should, are Hell in a Cell matches any good anymore? So, thanks for watching this exclusive content on Double Dropkick Show. I'm Ian Mulligan, and we'll see you soon.